I'm back. If you want to see how I do my makeup every day, just keep watching. Okay, that's all. I always start with my brows, and I'm using the Benefit Cosmetics Precisely My Brow. You'll notice I'm just kind of brushing in the color, and what I'm doing is just putting it in the places where I feel like I don't have a lot of hairs and just filling in the gaps essentially. And then in the, in the front of the brow, I'm just making a line. And then we're gonna use the spoolie here in a second to move the product around. And they did not have this one with the spoolie available, so I had to get this one. So I'm using an old spoolie, but grab the one with the spoolie, it's worth it. Because to me, that's what makes the difference with this pencil and why I can't stop using it, because like, look at that. Like once I use the spoolie, it makes it look like brush strokes and very natural, I think. One thing about my brows is that this one is always a little thicker, so I try to like remove a little product off the top and brush it back. And I don't know what I did to my brows yesterday, but they were looking so snatched. And I think I barely used any product, so maybe they're just because I plucked them a little bit. What do we think? Are they even? I can't tell. One thing about my brows is I have to look at it in multiple angles, in multiple lightings. So let me turn my mirror light on and see if I like them. Yeah, I'll say they're pretty good. And spoolie them one more time just for good measure. One thing I did do yesterday is use a little bit more brow gel, so that's probably what I'm going to try today. And I'm using Brow Freeze Gel by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And honestly, these are just products that I have used for years that I continue to repurchase, even though I am currently on the hunt for some more affordable products, because your girl can use some more affordable products. So I'm gonna use the brush that it comes with, just to add the product in. Okay. And then I'm gonna use my spoolie again to kind of shape and move the product around. And I always like to use my fingers to kind of clean up the top parts. The top parts? Like, what am I talking about? Okay, let me turn this off. Because bright. See, like, what happened here? I don't know. I think I put too much brow gel right there. I hate my brows. What's happening? I think I put too much brow gel. So I'm just going through and trying to fix and see if I can fix these brows. I'm leaving them alone. Now I'm going to go straight in with concealer, and I'm trying out the e.l.f. concealer in Fair Warm. It's a little light for me, honestly, but it's okay. I've been making it work, and I typically will put it in my T-zone. And then I have this leftover NARS creamy concealer with that's just a shade a little darker, so it works well for me. And I'm putting that on the outsides of my face, and to cover up any imperfections. I had a horrible breakout last month, so we're dealing with the consequences now. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to just get this in here. Oh my god, it looks so bright on the camera, even more brighter than it is in real life. And I like to take the edge of the sponge just on my eyebrows, like so. Okay, and then whatever I have left over, I always use for my lids, because I want it to match the rest of my face. I don't want it to be totally different color than the rest of my face, you know what I'm saying? And then eyelids to me are a little darker, so I'm gonna darken them up here in a second, but for now I'm going to match it against my face. And then always moving the product down the neck and into the ears. I'm feeling like I want a little more concealer, so I'm gonna put a little bit more. And this, honestly, that was probably a little too much because she's thick, but she blends well. So overall, I'm not like unhappy with the concealer. I don't love the way it lasts yet. I don't know if that's just me because I'm not setting it with powder, so maybe I just need to find a good powder to set it with, but I'm just not huge on powder and like powdering my nose, powdering my nose. I'm just not huge on powder in general. You'll see that I'm not using anything to set anything, but I feel like this concealer might need it. Typically, I would wear the MAC concealer. MAC Pro Longwear concealer is one of my favorites, but I ran out and I haven't repurchased it because she's expensive, but it's fine. I've been liking this e.l.f. one so far. Okay, Now, I told you I like my lids to be a little darker, so I like to use this Fenty Beauty, which is like super used. I like to use this Fenty Beauty bronzer in Sunstalker. Oh, Sunstalker. So it's a really warm bronzer, so I don't typically use it to bronze my face, but I love it for my lids because I feel like it adds that natural looking color back into the lids. I'm really just taking a little bit of it. You see I concentrate most of the product color on the lid, and then I'm just using the rest of what's left on the product on the brush to blend it in. That's it. And then this is a dual-ended brush, so I'm able to use the other end to put a little bit of this in my lower lash line. Now for the rest of the face, we're going to essentially gonna do a little contour bronze situation, you'll see, to try to make the skin a little bit more even with the rest of my body, you know what I'm saying? Because we're looking a little pale right now. So I take this angled brush, get it all up in here, tap any excess off, and then I start by doing like a contour. The 3 method contour, which is just like a 3. I just start on my cheeks. But what I like to do is not take much more for this part at the bottom. I just take what's left, the excess, and then move it down my neck. But you'll see I'm calling it, hold on. I'm kind of calling it bronzing a little bit because I'm bringing it further in than I would for a contour. For a contour, I would probably stop like right here, but I'm going a little further and putting that like closer to my cheek, again, to give myself that color. Now for this side, and my forehead, I usually just dip in one time for both sides. So just pick up the hair, get it really into the roots of the hair, and see this is more of the contour, right? Like I was telling you, it's like a 3, okay? But now that I'm done contouring, I would say, I'm gonna take whatever is left. I'm not re-dipping, whatever's left in here, and I'm going to bronze, because bronzing is, from what I understand, is how the sun hits your face. That's how you want to bronze. So obviously it's the forehead, the nose, the cheeks, and the chin. Oh my god, I still look really pale on camera, but hopefully you can see that my face is looking a little bit more even, because in real life it does not look as pale, but it could just be the lighting too. Now, not a required step for me, honestly. I don't do it every time, but for the most part, I like to use a little bit of blush, and I'm just using the MAC Peachy Keen is the color, Sheer Tone Shimmer Blush. I had this for a while. I don't use a lot of blushes, so this is like my only blush that I have right now. And very lightly just putting a little bit on the tops of my cheeks. Honestly, I don't know where the placement is supposed to be exactly, but I just put it on top of my cheeks, top of my brow bones, a little bit on my chin and my nose. Ooh, that was too much on my nose. I'm gonna use my beauty blender to kind of make sure it doesn't, you know what I mean, like it's too red. My nose is not too red, or pink I should say. Okay, next I'm gonna put some mascara. I don't even curl my lashes, honestly, but if you need to, you know you need to, but it just doesn't make a huge difference for me. My lashes will just not be curled all day. Like, it's kind of pointless, and I just feel like, why even do it if it doesn't make a difference for me? It only curls them for a few minutes and then they're back to pretty straight. So I just use the mascara to kind of push the brows up. The method where you like kind of go at the bottom and then swipe up. Same thing for this side. And I am using the MAC, one of the MAC Stack mascara, which I do love. A lot of the drugstore mascaras will run for me, even when they're waterproof, because I have really watery eyes. My eyes are actually really red right now because of allergies, and I find that this mascara definitely does not bleed at all for me, which is why I love it so much. I'll find like typically, or I'll sweat a lot, which is so annoying when the mascara just like kind of sits at the top, like it like melts into the top of it. I hate that. So this is why I love this one, because it does not do any of that. And then I like to put a little bit on my lower lash line, just a little bit. We're gonna let that dry. For the lips, I would use actually, let me go get it. Real quick. While I let the mascara dry, I'm gonna put a little bit of lip liner, and I'm just using the NYX lip pencil in nude beige. And honestly, I have been loving this really creamy Morphe one I found, but I can't find it anymore. I lost it, I think, in one of my purses. But this one will do for now. It's a very nude color for me. Like, you can see I'm like, it's very nude for me. And I just recently picked up this lip elixir in Bunny Ear by Chateau. I don't know, I just found it on Ulta recently, but I really liked it. It's supposed to have some, I think it's supposed to have a lip, it's like a gloss with lip oil and something else. And also my lips have been so dehydrated because I'm not drinking enough water, so it's really helping. And last but not least, let's spray the face. All right. And then let's spray some setting spray. So I'm gonna clean the under eye and make sure that it's nice and set correctly. I don't have a problem with it setting too much under my eyes, so I don't use any powder, like I told you a little while ago. But because I don't use any powder, I'm gonna make sure that I have a good setting spray. I typically will use, which one was I using before? Oh, is it Benefit too? I think so. The all-nighter setting spray, I think is Benefit too. So I'm obviously a Benefit fan. But right now I'm using the NYX Dewy Finish in Finny Satin makeup setting spray. Shake it up. And that's it. And that is all. I feel like I need to do an old Tati intro. Yeah. Okay, I hate my brows officially, but we're just gonna be okay with it, okay? Sometimes they turn out better than others. And today, it's just not my brow day. Yesterday apparently was my brow. All right, so closer look. Maybe I bring you a little closer. Yeah, I hate my brows, but it's fine.